Hello guys, welcome to my new video. Today we're gonna play some feral druid in early season 5 red of the Lich King and see how this pack works from the very beginning of the expansion. So let's get started and take a quick look at my gear and talents. As you can see, I'm running 4 out of 5 main PvP Savage set with PvE neck, back, wrist and boots, and PvP waist to boost my resilience a little bit. I'm using Bazooking as weapon enchant because it scales very well with Rip Ticks. I'm running around 6.6 resilience up to 700 resilience, depends on matchup I'm doing at the moment. However, I will not talk much about talents in this video, I'll just show it because some of you asked me to do so. I have Shred as my main build and Mangle build as my second choice against certain specs where either combo points mean more than damage itself or it's almost impossible to build some CPs with Shred. To be honest, I'm not impressed with how this pack does in duels with starter gear I'm using in a moment. I will probably change my mind if I farm some Deadly Gladiator PvP set with some better trinket. I cannot simply set this pack shoulder to shoulder with Assassination or Subtlety Rogue, Marksmanship Hunter, Unholy DK with some Resilience or Enhancement Shaman, and I repeat, this only stands for this gear. In my opinion, this pack scales much better with some better and higher gear, thanks to some talents and spells that work on percentage but not on nominal numbers. For example, Nurturing Instinct gives us 70% of our agility to boost our healing spells. My Season 8 5.8k Druid has more than double agility than my Season 5 Feral, without single of red main set piece in any specific agility builds. That means 3 better healing without even doing anything special, but having a better gear. And also we have some more examples here like Predatory Strikes and Weapon Attack Damage Boost. Then Hard to the Wild, which will boost 10% more of attack power on top of that. There's also Defensive Spell Survival Instinct that also depend on our stamina, where with battle gear you get more HP. Mixing these damage boost percents with Savage Roar, which boosts our damage for another 30%, makes even more difference, so you can't say it's nothing and it doesn't affect early Breath of the Lich King phase experience as Feral Druid. Fighting Arms Warriors feels good because you're always one cooldown ahead of him. Point there is to Cyclone with Predatory Strikes, heal and reopen couple of times if possible. I won't recommend going berserk at opener like I did, because you can make him unsure if he wants to shield wall at opener or to eat 1.5k rip ticks. And if he uses shield wall in opener, just open with berserk and finish him off. But of course he has answer on 2 openers. He can either shield wall or retaliation to make your berserk not so useful. Open with pawns, 1 mangle and hit Savage Roar. If you get Predatory proc, you can use Cyclone to try to force some noobs trinket. But if you fight someone at least average, he won't trinket that because there is no point, and you will lose Savage Roar's time. So you can use it either for regrowth or just continue rotation with Rake and Shreds until you make 5 combo points and rip him off. He used Shield Wall in opener, so all I could do is Ferocious Bite and Cyclone him, which will lead to instant trinket, but we won't worry because there is a beer form to fix the things. As you can see, you can charge in Cyclone without stun, because we have, I'm not sure, maybe 3 seconds snare, but if he pops Spell Reflection, stun is a must. Try to stack some blooms, and if he trinket like this, you have Natural Rasp to root him. I don't use it before Blade Storm because he can completely make it worthless that way. I maybe overuse devs here since I use Barskin and Survival Instinct in same time, but I was sure I'm winning when Blade Storm ends, so I used Natural Grasp. As soon as the Blade Storm ended, rooted him and started healing. I should have restelled here and opened with pawns, but I was on the edge of the zone and he caught me. I used 1 point Savage Roar because it's insanely important for damage, and I tried to rip him and switch to bear form. I still had Frenzied Regeneration as defensive cooldown. I won't repeat again what I'm doing with spells, but it's very important to use shred build against warriors so you can avoid wasting energy unnecessarily on meaningless mangles on 100% block chance. I wanted fully to use my procs here and start hitting hard, but as soon as I saw retaliation I prepared for bash and cyclone. I knew he had Trinket, so I started running and blooming. He used Trinket and Blade Storm, so Trial 4 is the answer with Nature's Grasp after BS. As you saw, I messed up with Nature's Grasp and used it right in the Blade Storm, and his last hit from Blade Storm removed my last charge. I tried to re-stealth with Shadow Meld and reopen with Pawns, but he revealed me. I made 5 combo points and he dodged my stun. I saw Shield Wall and I used Bear Form and charged fast and tried to bash him, but he feared me and it was pretty useless to do. Few Retribution Paladins with two-hand weapon are insanely easy to beat. Still, there are some that call themselves Retri Paladins, but they are playing with just one-hand spell power weapon and shield and seal of the light all the time, which is much closer to PREG Paladin, but it's only way to win Feral, so I don't blame them at all. I dueled this PREG a couple of times and I saw he's using half on Pounds, so I tried to force his Trinket with 5 CP stun and Cyclone, but I don't know why I didn't continue doing damage instead of retreating and healing. Like, why should he Trinket then? But it's alright now, open with Berserk and use Shred build. For most damage I use opener like I used against warriors with Savage Roar and 5 CP rip, and then you make space, use heal, instant heal with predatory strikes, and then I switch to bear form and wait for heal to interrupt. This is first mistake. I used to rip and fall back and watch Paladin dying, but against PREG you need to be there. If I interrupted his cast like this, I just need to stand and fight in Cat 4, no reason to heal and run. Could maybe end it up here, but he would probably divine it. But however, I started pressuring again with Ferocious Bite as finisher. He caught me off guard when I tried to use instant heal and repentance me with full holy light. I somehow had to keep him busy while I'm hurting myself, so I used Natural Grasp, so he cannot use global CDs for damage but to cleanse himself, and then he stunned me. That second stun can lead to death with wings, so if I could go back in the time I would definitely not Trinket that first stun because I didn't have to. However, I Shadow Metal his Exorcism and use Survival Instinct instantly. Instinct helped me build these points for 5 CP Ferocious Bite, but don't ever forget to use Savage Roar before it. These 5 CP made my healing touch instant, and I again expected heal from him, and I'd prepared my fingers for bear form and charge. But now I didn't make same mistake and I kept fighting him while his holy school is locked by interrupt. Once more I built some 4 or 5 points, hit Ferocious Bite, make my instant heal again, and waited in cat form for him to use heal, so I can fast switch to bear form and interrupt. I have a video of one paladin saying to me that I can't beat him and no feral beaten him ever, but this duel is a little bit longer and all about the same thing. Hide, heal, interrupt, repeat, reopen, and that stuff, and duels like 2 or 3 minutes, so we move on to next duels with next spec. Okay, I'll be honest with you guys, like I always am, but I don't see a way of beating DK in this bracket with the same gear. Shred is unusable on DK because the Secretion which provide perma slow, and if DK is kiting, he will always be face to face with you. I found myself unable to hit the shred for like 5 or 6 seconds straight, which makes my energy sitting on 100% all the time with 0 combo points. So I switched to Mangle build against them, which hits much better on higher gear when everything crits. Still, DK seems almost unbeatable for me if he pops early Icebound and Gargoyle. Like I didn't have problems playing Unholy DK and facing same geared Ferals. If they trick and pounce like this, they know what is Feral capable of. And that's the right thing. So Icebound is next spell and you are unable to man. And you are forced to fight. I make 2 or 3 points for Savage Roar and then spam Mangles till 5 CP rip. And then instant healing touch or regrowth. By then DK calls Gargoyle and your main job there is to charge in bear form and set focus on him. I not only charge him but switch target, hit Mangle on DK and then go back to Gargoyle to bash him and make space for another charge. While bash is up on Gargoyle, you have to make pass 5 CP whatever to make instant Cyclone on Gargoyle with our focus macro. Make sure to use survival instincts so you can survive longer and make it possible. As we see, Cyclone is about to expire, so we hit another charge to interrupt the Gargoyle and hit Nature's Grasp and run away to heal, because Gargoyle is about to expire too. DK used EMS probably to prevent him from Cyclone a few seconds ago because he doesn't have Trinket, but if he saved it for Nature's Grasp, I'll probably be dead again. As you can see, I used Shadow Melt to prevent him from hitting another dead coil, so I made enough space for heals. Now let's get back and finish the job. No Icebound, no tricking, and no bat. Elemental Shamans have very high burst, and there were a couple of times where I was deleted from almost 2 spells, where one is instant. This matchup is still tough for me, and if they stack some more resilience with purpose, it's even harder when you add 16k armor on top of that. And we know the Feral Druid has 0 armor penetration with this starter gear. Bloodlust makes their heals 1.1 second cast time with 3.5k heals without crit, so you have to either deal 3.5k damage per second or CC interrupt, but it's not that easy with global cooldowns. Be careful with opening on Elemental Shamans because they can reveal you with both Lava and Earthbind Totem. I use classic opener with Pounce, Mangle and then Savage Roar, but you won't use Rip here because you want instant damage and ability to control the duel with Cyclone, which will make Rip meaningless. I have to pause the video here and point out a very important thing. It depends from player to player when they use Elemental Mastery, but I knew this guy would punch me in the face with 6 to 7k lava burst just when I charged back. I noticed buff from Elemental Mastery, and that's why I didn't use Cat Charge, because it would be much more difficult to Shadow Melt the lava in melee range. Also, I'm sure I could have Bear Charge this hell instead and interrupt him, and that would be pretty much GG. Now all I want to do is fast 5 combo point Ferocious Bite or Maim and then followed with Cyclone next. I chose Bite because I knew he will trinket the Cyclone, and I will change to Bear form and bash him or charge. If you choose Maim, make sure to have enough energy to deal the damage to force his trinket on stun, not on Cyclone. Now when I bash him, go cat form, hit at least one shred, and when bash is about to expire, start making space for shapeshift bear form to charge for interrupt on more than obvious incoming heal. This guy had 800 resilience there, and I was a little bit high resilience too, and I didn't have much damage because I wanted to duel a rogue. If you duel some same geared priest with 5,500 resilience, you don't have problem killing it. For tanking priest, you need to interrupt something to win. Don't open on priest with berserk. You want first to force his fear and then use berserk. I intentionally waited for him to start casting Vampiric Touch so I can charge with beer and interrupt the Shadow School. I paused the video for two reasons. First is that I opened with Pawns and instant Savage Roar, and I still had time for 5 combo point Ferocious Bite, but he hit me with Horror and messed up. Other thing is that he needs to cast Vampiric here instantly after Horror. If he does it properly, it would be very hard to survive. If he doesn't, you can melt it. Don't trinket Horror. If you trinket it, you need to finish duel till next fear, or you are dead. Damage from this bite would be much stronger if I had Savage Roar, but it was not worth using 4 combo points for it. Or maybe it was, but then I had to use Cyclone, reopen and bite again. Maybe I should have really done that. Problem with Priest is that they don't really need to cast to deal damage or heal. It's very tricky to wait for their interrupt. They can dot you with instant damaging spells, or they can use Holy Nova, Renew, Shield and survive that way. I personally use Mangle build against mages. It's easier to make a combo points. Open with Pounce and on their blink, go bear form charge to snare them. Hit Mangle and then stun, and fast change to cat form for damage. That will make them either trinket or ice block instantly. Trinket first deep if you are close to him or you are available for interrupt in bear form. And first thing I want to mention here are the clones. You simply cannot win against Frost Mage if they are alive. It's permanent slow, so I avoid it by forcing his block and Shadow Melt with stealth. Now wait for cooldowns on charge and open fast while he's under hypothermia. By this time you will have bash ready again and you will probably win if you live till now. Just look at this insane damage they do with Fingers of Frost proc. I did pretty good hitting a bite and instant healing touch, but I was unlucky with Frost Nova. His Cone of Cold didn't reveal me, but Nova did, with insane range. If I could reopen, I would easily win this again. I did interrupt him, but he immediately switched to Arcane School, which tells me that this guy is surely not a random mage. I use here all possible defensive cooldowns, and if he wants to dispel my Barskin, he would need to waste at least one global cooldown, which is completely fine for me. I procced Predatory Strikes here and I wanted to use Healing Touch, but I didn't have mana because they still didn't fix mana problem with druids on this server. One more time, honest with you guys, I can't beat a good rogue and a hunter. Assassination is unbeatable, that's for sure, but subtlety makes insane damage too. I mean, if they are human and have both trinkets with some bonus inflict damage like these two trinkets, it's impossible. I tried to trinket Kidney with and without Shadow Dance to keep trinket for blind, but it still looks insanely hard in this bracket to survive. If they open without Shadow Dance and you save Barskin for it, you will get like 10k damage just from opener. Then they start dead zoning with evasion up. When Kidney comes, they hit again with full Shadow Dance. If you try to trinket, you eat blind and die surely. If you don't trinket, you lose another 7 to 8k through Barskin. I know you should try to make a space in charge, but all I want to say is that they have insane opener damage without Shadow Dance. It's just unplayable until you get some decent resilience. I mean, I played a rogue and made a video about it in season 5, and I think they are the most overpowered spec next to hunters in season 5. and I've seen a lot of decently rated rogues in this season, because this isn't just normal. Look at this 11k opener without Shadow Dance on 22k armor. This guy didn't even use evasion on second opener and let me bash him, and it still won with 0 effort. He shouldn't be using cloak before natural grasp, but why not? Because he used it as a finisher and I just can't survive that, and that's it. Hunter seems also unbeatable in this bracket. Only spec that can beat them are subtlety rogues. I think that anyone who thinks that Peril can kill Hunter in Season 5 is idiot. If they stand in the middle of layer, you can do a pounce. If you somehow hit the pounce, you have a lot more chance to win. Still, good Hunter will trinket pounce, scatter, master call so you can't snare him with beard charge, and deterrence, the stun. From then, easy kite with insane amount of damage, bat knock, pain dead, snake trap, frost trap, and when charges are ready, another deterrence. Good Hunter won't let you stack combo points like this. Master's Call is best spell you can imagine against feral druids. Also a tough matchup is Destruction Warlock in Season 5, with 2 Void Walkers and a little bit better PvP gear, around 700 to 800 resilience. Shadow Fury makes a big difference between Affliction and Destruction. You have to use Box Skin on Shadow Fury stun and Trinket the coil. Try to bear charge a Chaos Bolt, which will make a huge impact. Use Ferocious Bite as finisher and Cyclone with heal to reopen. However, it's still hard to beat the Destruction Warlock with 2 Void Walkers, because he will be able to use around 3 Shadow Furies, which means 3 Chaos Bolt, which is insane. That would be everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Peace and see you soon.